Today I'm talking about a video that I watched. It was from Mind Your Boundaries. I will link it in the description below so you can watch the original shorts that I saw. And the question was, how do I keep my parents from just coming into my house and getting my kids ready for school in the morning every day? I was like, what? Okay, so what the situation was, she said, I feel like I have to allow them to do it because my parents are paying for my house. So the parents are paying for the house. The parents are coming in, and it sounds like they are teenagers, waking up the teenagers in the morning, making them breakfast, and getting them off to school. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. I know you guys knew I had to comment on this one. I was like, okay. So apparently they will come in and do this without the parents' permission. The parents have told them, please stop doing this. Our kids are getting behind in their peers, which I don't know what that means, but they're getting behind in their peers, and we want them to learn how to basically take care of themselves in the morning is what I'm thinking. Okay, first of all, moms, stay home and take care of your kids. I'm sorry, but if your kids are in school and you're not there to help them get ready, not help them, but if you're not there to supervise them getting ready in the morning for school, even as teenagers, you need to adjust your work schedule. You need to find a different job so that you can be there for them. You need to get a different job, get a different work schedule so you can be at home for them when they come home from school. This is a big problem in our society today, is moms just not raising their kids. Yeah, they might be in school, but they still need you in the morning and they still need you after school. So first of all, mom, you need to be there. Be the one to get your kids ready for school. Even if your kids are teenagers, they should not be leaving a house with no one in it in the morning and coming home to a house with no one in it after school. That's just awful. Absolutely awful. The next thing is about your parents just coming into your house. First of all, even if your parents are paying for your house, that is not okay, period. So my comment on this video, which I don't comment on videos very often, so if I commented, I would say, here's my comment from Living on a Dime. I would say if the parents are paying for your house in your 30s, I assume they're in their 30s, probably maybe 40s, then it's time for you to grow up. Your kids won't grow up until you do. Change the locks and move. Listen, if you are in your 30s or 40s and there has not been some sort of horrible, tragic disability, divorce, death, something like that, and you and your spouse are married and working, there is no reason for your parents to be paying for your house, period. Absolutely, period. Now, in her thing, she said, well, I don't want to move because this is my children's childhood home and it's all they've ever known. I don't care. I do not care. This is not okay. Not okay. You need to grow up and start paying your own bills. Now, I got a few replies on here, and it says, great advice if housing were affordable. Okay, it is if your money is right. Maybe they had no choice but to accept the help. Regardless, it doesn't give the grandparents right to do this. The parents need to learn to set those boundaries with the grandparents. Move out if that is impossible to do. Okay, maybe they had no choice but to accept, if there was a very extenuating circumstance. Apparently there's not, though. Then somebody else says, okay, so rent, join forces with another family, share space, stop living the high life with dollars, cars, manage your family. If they pay your mortgage and this is their deal with that, deal with that. Oh well, the entitlement, oh my, grow up. They are 100% right. Stop with the coffees. Stop with the brand new cars or the expensive used cars that you cannot afford. Stop with buying new clothes. It's the school year starting right now. Why are you going school clothes shopping? Were your kids naked all summer long? Back to school shopping is just a marketing ploy. It has nothing to do with actually needing clothes for school. Okay, if they need another pair, they've grown over the summer, if you need another pair of pants or jeans or socks or underwear because they happen to be on sale, okay, fine. But you don't need to go spend $500, $1,000 on clothes for your kid to go to school. It's ridiculous. Stop eating out. Stop with all the subscriptions. Stop with all the app subscriptions. Stop with the expensive phones. Stop with the car payments. Well, I said that, but I mean, it's the car payment. I mean, either way, don't buy a car that you can't afford, even if you're paying cash. And don't have car payments, both. You have no problem giving hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest free to the bank, but you can't pay your rent. You can't pay your student loans. You can't pay your medical bills. No, you can't afford that coffee. You can't afford to get your nails done. You can't afford to get your hair done. You can't afford to eat out. You can't afford to live in that neighborhood. It's just the way it is. You can't afford that boat. You can't afford that camper. You can't afford that snowmobile. You can't afford that vacation. Just stop and grow up. And parents, the people who are watching my videos are my age. Parents, stop paying for this stuff. Because then the parents and the grandparents are complaining they never have any time to do anything they want to do. They don't have any money to do anything they want to do. Their kids are always in their lives and they're babysitting, their daycare. There's no reason for it. Absolutely none. Grandparents do not need to be the daycare. I'm sorry. I stayed home, and at one point, 60% of our income was going to our house payment. 60%. It can be done if you want it to. And you'll say, oh, Tara, that was 20 years ago. That was the same excuse they used 20 years ago when I started this whole thing. It was the same exact story. Well, in the 80s, it was so much easier. No, it wasn't, because look at all those parents in the 80s. Now they're broke. You have all these over 60, over 70 videos, and they're broke. Why? Because they spent everything in the 80s and 90s and they have nothing now that it's time for their retirement. It's your own darn tootin' fault. You spent it all away. You paid for all of your kids' stuff. Now you don't have the money to retire. You don't have the money to go on vacation like you want. You don't have the money to pay for heat. You don't have the money to pay for groceries. These are the consequences. And even if you do have money, how absolutely horrible of a parent are you that you give your kids everything so that they never have to learn to stand on their own 2 feet? That's abuse. How in the world are they going to make it when something truly horrible happens? When their spouse dies or their spouse leaves them and you're dead, how are they going to take care of themselves? How are they going to have the resources to know that they can make it? How are they going to know in their mind, wait, I've been through this before, I can do it again? They're not, because you're always bailing them out. They're not, because you're letting them live with you. You're not, because they're not, because you're paying their house payment. Parents, this is on you. Grandparents, this is on you. And once these kids are in their 20s, it's on them to stand on their own 2 feet. We do not pay any of our kids' bills. our adult kids' bills. We still have one underage. They pay for everything. They pay for their cell phones, they pay for their car, they pay for their car insurance, they pay for their housing, they pay for their food, they pay for it all. We don't pay for it. And if they are adults living in our house, like, you know, we don't officially kick them out until they're college age. They're paying rent. If they're not going to college, they're paying rent. If they're in college living at home, then they would have rent free. That would be fine. Now, if they're getting their doctorate or their master's or whatever and they're still living at home, they're going to be paying rent. That's ridiculous. Actually, they're going to be kicked out if that's the case. There's no reason for them to stay home. But I don't pay for any of that for my kids. And that's why none of these kids think they can make it, because the finances aren't right. Well, get your finances in order. It is the choices you make, and it is up to you, and you can do it. It is very possible to do it. So that's what I would have said in that situation. Please go visit us at livingonadime.com. We'll see you guys next time.